Hi, I'm William Tenholder. As you know by now, I've been playing for hundreds of years. Well, that's my little joke. Uh, you know, we play so many games. I've won thousands of games internationally and online. And so I would like to show you this very, very instructive game when you have a game plan. And I'll tell you in a minute as we go through this what the game plan is. Well, it comes in stages. The first part of my game plan, of course, is how can I end my game quickly? So let's take a look. There are a few tricks and traps in this game, and something we can all learn from. Sometimes I learn from my own games. So, yes, this is the Alkyne's defense. So, now if you want to study the Alkyne's defense, you should study, this is tricky because if e5, then you have to know where to put your knight after white pawn to e5. Your knight pretty much has to go to d5, and then they're going to push c4. You have to know how to handle that. Okay, so I know how to handle it, so I know how to use Alkynes. Let's go forward in this game and see what can we learn from this. Pretty standard opening. I can go through the opening pretty quickly because it's all standard stuff. However, I have to say, this is my patented move. I like to just come out and check the king and provoke a response, which is usually the pawn. So now I've limited their mobility on the queen side. If they had any plans to bring their knight out onto c3, it's going to take them a couple of tempos. Now I can move my bishop to another attacking position, and so this is what it's all about. Now I'm really, if they had a plan, I've just destroyed it. They are trying to go after my bishop, and this is the whole idea behind these bishop moves, is you want to pull them into an uncomfortable position, yet still attacking. Notice I'm still attacking. The weakest pawn on their side is f2, and I'm still attacking it. And I've made the move several pawns, right? Okay, so their pawns are not necessarily in a great position. So now this is even better. Now the king's guardian knight has come out, and now we can do something with that. Okay, we can push that knight around. They come in with the bishop. We can just keep on pushing that knight around because it has no business being in our territory. And now we just take it right out. And this is where it becomes very interesting. You see how we're defending our territory. They are mounting an attack, but now we have set up the perfect sequence. Take the pawn on f2. And what can they do? They have to move the king. Now the king will be stuck in the middle of the board until the end of the game. And we'll see how we work this. Obviously now we have a little retreat to do, but you have to retreat to the right side, protecting the king, still giving you power to attack. They attack the knight, no problem. So we can, we're ahead, and at least we've put ourselves in a position to win the game, right? Black is definitely a percentage up here. So we just continue to attack and take pieces as we saw, and also defend. So, the h6 pawn was very important to defend there. Now they're going to attack, and we have a perfect spot to go to. And now the goal of the game here at this point is either a checkmate sequence, or let's see if we can get both rooks to the back 2 file, right? The back 2 rank. If we can get our rooks back there, so let's see how we get this done. So that's a nice attack on the queen, and this is very tricky, right? Because queen moves out. Now we're ahead, so we can exchange. This is a forced exchange if the queen doesn't move. The queen doesn't move. Now we simply take the knight. And queen takes queen, queen takes queen, king takes. Now we can see how we can get our development. Look at that, eh? Beautiful. Now we've got one of our rooks all the way up to the 4th rank. And so they want to defend their pawn, of course. So now we do our moves. Look at this, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. The 2 rooks are lined up. Now this is the move of the game, because there's a little trap here and they didn't see it. Check on the king, take the rook. Okay, that's a pretty standard trap, the knight fork. But this allows us to achieve our goals, right? King takes, rook takes, and rook check on the king. We managed to get our rook up to the 3rd rank, and we are winning because they have no pieces except pawns left. So it's pretty standard here. We don't let the king in. They will try. That's their only hope. But we take the pawn, and then we will have a running pawn on H file right down to H1, it will queen. So they attempt to attack the king. We take, and really they have very little to play with here. With this move on the pawn to E5, we can easily ignore it if we wanted to, but because we can take it either way. But now we can take it if the king moves. We can move with the king. The rook is going to rule. The rook is going to rule the whole game. So in this case, we achieved our goal, getting our rook into the white territory, and they resigned. Because clearly, once the rook moves to C1, the king would be cut off or put into checkmate, one or the other. So I hope you enjoyed this game. Pretty instructive. A lot of wonderful tricks of the trade. I'm William Tenholder. Have a great evening.